Sound Off.
Rated T14.
Does young people even need a voice in this community? What can the community expect from this show?
I am my brother's keeper. We got to be responsible for each other.
It's okay to be different. Building stronger communities by helping the rest of our community really make it and achieve their dreams.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go!
Welcome back to Sound Off, heard every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. And Sound Off is sponsored weekly by Carolina Teen Health. And we deal with topics that are relevant to this generation. And I'm really honored to have in the studio with us this morning Officer Neesmith of the City of Conway Police Department. Good morning once again, Officer Neesmith.
Good morning.
And we certainly appreciate you taking time out of that very busy schedule to be with us.
Anytime.
And anytime? Okay, I'll hold you to that now. At this time, go around, guys, and introduce yourselves again before we jump back into this really important topic.
I'm Kelsey Watts.
Angelica Byers.
Brianna Evans.
And what we're talking about this morning is we're dealing with the topic of bullying. And during my research, I realized that people bully for certain reasons, and it falls into different categories. And, you know, it says that some kids bully because of family issues, social issues. They want recognition. They're trying to get attention. Personal history of bullying. Brianna said earlier maybe their parents were bullies, which I don't even want to imagine that. That would not be cute. Social rejection. Kids just feel like they don't fit in, so bullying probably helped them to feel important. And then also the fact that academically they might not be excelling, so bullying is a way of making them feel like really like the big kid in the group. But we said, and before we went into break, and I'll continue to say that bullying is not cute, and that's why we felt it was necessary for Officer Neesmith to be with us, and she definitely shared some vital information that I know the community appreciates. But as we talk about the fact that people bully for different reasons, Brianna, have you had the experience, or do you know anyone that always is trying to be that comedian?
Yes, I do.
And in the process, hurting somebody's feeling.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
I mean, being funny, you know, it has its moments, but you have to think about what you're saying and how the other person's going to feel, because in the end, you could like really hurt that person like deep down, and they're not going to show it when they're in front of you. They're going to wait till you leave or they leave, and then they might break down, and that could be that moment when they feel like that's enough. They need to go about their life, and, you know, there's no point in being here anymore. People go through that all the time, where they just feel like people constantly picking on them, downing them. They don't have any positive reinforcement in their life, and just there's no point in being here anymore.
People need to be aware that the things you say to people and the things you do to people do have an effect on them. It might not seem that way because, yeah, they're going to be fine tomorrow. Yeah, they're going to walk by you in the hallway, and they're not going to seem upset. But you never know how close someone is to the edge. And once you've done something to someone, you can't take that back. Right. And you never know how far that person is from going off the deep end. And just people need to be aware of that, because that's a serious issue. It really is. And I can speak from personal experience on that. It's not fun to have to go through. And it's not okay for you to put people through that.
I haven't personally been bullied, but I met this guy at a camp, and he was bullied to the point where he started stabbing himself on his arm, trying to kill himself, and so forth like that, just because people had drawn him so deep into bullying.
What about the fact that studies have shown that some people bully because they feel as though it gives them power? How do you feel about that, Kelsey? You think bullies have power?
I don't really, to an extent, I guess, because in the classroom or wherever, if you're bullying somewhere or in any situation, if you are bullying someone, you're going to have power over that other person because you're going to make them feel inferior to you. But in, like, the big picture, like, you're no more important than that other person to everyone else. You just feel that way, you know what I mean?
Okay. Okay. Officer Neesmith.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you help me to take that power away? I don't want bullies to have power. What can we do on the law enforcement side? And I'm being honest. Bullies should not have power.
I agree.
So is there anything we can do from the law enforcement side to totally strip that power away?
we need to have more people press charges. We do a lot of cases, but I'm pretty sure a lot of them are not being reported. They might be being ignored. Definitely it needs to start with pressing the charges. As far as the victim of the bullying, they can get counseling through school counselors. They can get counseling through the Victims Advocacy Program. And to get the Victims Advocacy Program, the help from there, then you need to press the charges. You got to seek definitely to get the counseling, because some people do need counseling after things like this happen. But for the most part, as a parent, I've had my son be a victim of a bully, and I pressed charges. And, I think a lot of parents, need to take a more proactive approach and, not look at it, as I said before, as well as just one of those things that happen in school, because now, bullies are very serious. We've all seen it in the news, where you got different instances where it gets carried and it keeps going on and on and on and on to where it becomes now probably a murder or a homicide, because it kept going on. Right. So yeah, definitely, if you can, as my mother would say, nip it in the bud from the start. Right. Go ahead and prosecute, press the charges. That usually would get a lot of people's attention.
Okay. Yeah, because I definitely, we know that bullying has taken a totally different face. I mean, back in the day, it was so simple, and it's something that you could probably laugh about, but I guess the person that was being bullied, it wasn't funny, and it's still not funny. But now when you have kids and we keep going back to the social networking part in terms of what happens with text messaging,
makes it easy.
Facebook and Twitter. I mean, it's just crazy. It really is, and I'm one of those people. I'm a firm believer that if people know that they could have consequences,
oh yes,
then I think we'll have less people.
I agree.
Trying to be this big bully.
Well, it makes it easier. Back in the day, as you say, you had to go to their house or go to the school to do something to them. Now, right. I can be all the way in, Myrtle Beach and you're in Conway, and I can, harass the mess out of you and make your day bad, just over texting, Facebook, Twitter, Ovu, everything that's out there. It makes it so much easier and, to target that person, so to speak. And now you got GPS, and I know where you are. I can come to you. I don't think a lot of people realize it's an innocent thing where, because that's actually something that's on the rise, where people are using the GPS and then they're, encountering some people and bullying them face to face, just because now I know where you are.
Wow.
So it is a problem that can potentially grow to be a bigger issue, other than just picking on you, from the basic harassment all the way up to the assault and battery, and it can lead to progress to felony. So yeah, like I said before, most parents and everyone, I think it needs to be stopped. It's a very serious issue that the law has not yet caught totally up with everything, right. But they're working on it. And in the meanwhile, do what you can. Start the process. Go ahead and file the report and push it through the court system and let them deal with it accordingly.
Okay, and I think I want to ask everybody, my advice to parents, if you know that your child, if you get wind that your child is a bully, do something about it. It's not cute. Don't take it lightly. Right. I mean, that's common. You should have dialogue and say, listen, don't you understand that when you infringe upon somebody else's right, that you don't do that. I mean, and Angelica said, I mean, emotionally, that could be detrimental to a child. And we have to do something about it. On that note, Brianna, what advice, and I'm going around, what advice would you give to someone that is being bullied?
If you're being bullied, like cyberbullied, I just think, maybe you should take some time off the internet, block people, because that always helps. Block anybody who will harm you. And if it's like a face-to-face bullying, you make sure you tell the nearest adult, someone who has that the power to go and tell an authority if you too afraid yourself. I know there's hotlines you could call. Just let somebody know. Don't just keep it on the inside, because you do a lot of damage to yourself just trying to feel like no one's gonna help you. If someone will help you.
Okay.
I would definitely I would definitely tell the people that are getting bullied, please speak out. It makes the difference. If you don't say anything, nothing's going to get done. Nothing will ever be solved unless you speak out and tell an adult that you trust, or a counselor at school, or your parents.
Okay, Kelsey?
Well, I'm just going to piggyback off of what they said. Yeah, if no one's going to help you if you're not willing to help yourself, because if you're going to if you're going to let people take advantage of you or make fun of you, then they're just going to keep on doing it. They're not going to stop on their own free will. You have to do something about it, and you have to be willing to do something about it as well.
Okay, and I'm going to call your full name. Tyrese Knox Neesmith
Yes,
of
ma'am.
Conway City Police Department. As a parent and as a police officer, what advice, one, would you give parents? And then two, from law enforcement side?
As a parent, I can only speak on what I did.
Right.
Like I say, I got in touch with the teachers for one because I need both sides of the story, find out exactly what's going on, and to make sure that my son was not, or child was not a contributor. You know, they didn't begin, start this process. And once I made contact with the teacher to find out what happened, then we went to the administrator. And for, like I said, what I did, I chose the route of prosecuting to let the parent understand that this is not going to be tolerated. And I think you can start at the ground level. My advice as a parent was start at the ground level, work your way up, because sometimes you can get intervention from just the initial appearance. And then, like I say, we all grew up in different households and upbringings. You do have some parents that, my child doesn't do anything wrong, they're the golden child, and you're going to have to,
Right.
seek charges, and then maybe you might get their attention. As far as law enforcement, bullying should not be tolerated at any level. There's a zero tolerance pretty much every agency, to my knowledge, in law enforcement, that it should be dealt with through the court system.
Okay, good. I certainly appreciate that. I appreciate Tyrese Knox Neesmith of the Conway City Police Department joining us on this morning to talk about the serious issue of bullying. And we always end, Tyrese, we let everybody do a shout out. I know you're grown, but please shout out to your mama.
I would like to give a special shout out to Miss Phyllis Shug Knox. She is my mother that everyone pretty much knows.
Hey, Diane.
We call her Shug in case anybody know her.
Okay.
Again, I'd like to give a shout out to my friends, family in Conway, friends and family in Charlotte. Love you.
I want to give a shout out to my mom, my grandmother, the man upstairs. Without him, we couldn't be here. And pretty much everybody that knows me, and I love y'all.
That's Brianna Evans. She didn't call her name again. Everybody that knows her. That's Brianna's. That's Tasha's baby. That's Brianna Evans.
I want to give shout out to everybody awesome in my life because there's so many to say. So yeah, workers, family, friends, everybody. Hi. Love you.
You've been, once again, guys, we certainly appreciate your time. And if you have enjoyed this program, we do invite you to log on to our website. And that website is www.soundoff.com. Maybe you have a comment or you would like to be part of the studio audience or a team member. We want to hear from you. Sound Off is heard weekly at 9 a.m. And this program is totally designed with our youth in mind. We deal with topics that are relevant to this generation. And we are proud to say that we are sponsored weekly by Carolina Teen Health. And we definitely want to shout out to all of the good people at Carolina Teen Health because they make this program possible. Until next Saturday, God bless everybody. And again, you're listening to
Sound Off.
Sound Off.
Rated T14.
You have been listening to Sound Off. Now we invite you to join us every Saturday morning at 9 a.m.
My name is Kiara Wins. We sound off and you can sound off too. Every Saturday morning at 9 a.m.